So hi, my name is Daniel, and in today's tutorial I'll be explaining to us and showing us practically how to automate your Instagram posting. I'll be showing you right from the beginning, from your creating of your Facebook page all the way to the end where you will have learned how to automate your Instagram posting. We'll be talking about how to get your access token from Meta API, how to connect your Instagram to your Facebook page, and all that thing. We'll also be talking about how to post different aspects. What I mean is different media from your feed, how to post on your feed on Instagram, how to post on your stories, how to create carousel, and also how to post reels on Instagram. So these are the main aspects we'll be covering in this tutorial for today. And at the end of the tutorial, I'll also be explaining what are some of the disadvantages and advantages I noticed in this whole thing. And we'll be using Airtable as database, Cloudinary as well. We'll be hosting our images and videos and all of that. So those are the main tools. Anytime will be our automation tool. Airtable will be our database, and then Cloudinary will be we are hosting the images and videos. So basically, these are some of the tools we'll be using. Oh, all right. So let's start the whole process. So I can actually brief you through on the step-by-step processes on how to do automation posting on Instagram. So the first thing you have to do is log into your Facebook profile. Then you go to pages and create a page. And so you create a Facebook page. I already have one created, but I'll be showing you how to create a Facebook page. So you come here to create page. If you have an existing Facebook page, you can use that one, but since we are creating a new one, I'll show you. Then create a public page, which is next, and then get started. So I'm not going to create one, I just want to show you how. So you input your page name, you input your category, which category it is, maybe business center, whichever one, or business consultant, then you choose which one you want. It can be one, it can be more than one, and then bio is optional, and all you have to do is create page, and that's it. But because I already have one created, that is the reason why I would not be able to do that. So after you finish creating your page, the next thing you have to do is link your page to your Instagram account. So let's do that. So like I said before, after you finish creating your page, one thing we want to do is link our Instagram account to our Facebook page. So yeah, this is the Facebook page I created. The only thing I just did was add profile picture and then the background picture, and that was it. There was nothing else added to the whole thing. So after that, one thing I need to make you guys understand is that once you create your Facebook page, the Instagram account that you are using, make sure that it is linked to that Facebook account and not another account. An Instagram account can only be linked to one Facebook account. It cannot be linked to multiple. So whichever account you're linking that Instagram account, whichever Facebook account at least you're linking the Instagram account to, it is either it has not been linked to the Facebook account before, or it is linked to the Facebook account that you created the page under. So what I mean if this is the Instagram account I'm about to link is already linked to a different Facebook account, it would not work. So it has to be linked to the same Facebook that we're using to create all this process, or it has not been linked at all. So for you to do that, you go to settings, then once you go to settings, you scroll down all the way to linked accounts. I've already linked mine already, so as you can see, this is it here. This is my Instagram account. So you click on it, and then it will show you should connect it, and then you click on connect, and then once you click on connect, you log in your Instagram account details. That means the password or phone number. That means maybe the name, address, or phone number. You should start account with the password, and then you connect it. So once that is done, you are done for that process. Then the next thing you need to do is to go to your that is meta developers, that is developers.facebook.com. That means you need to create a new app, which is something that is very important for you to do. So let me show you how we go about that. So after you go to the developers.facebook.com/apps, then it will bring you here. I already have two apps already. One is for WhatsApp, one is for this one. So I'll be showing you how to create a new app. I will not be creating it fully, but I'll just show you how. Then you create a new app. Let's name the app. Let's say it is let's say tutorial or you can't use Instagram or anything like that. It's not to flag it out. So let's just say tutorial. Let's just name it like that, and let's say we'll click next, and then we'll choose orders, and then order again, and then next. And then make sure that you're selecting business for it, not consumer, business. And then this the app name. Portfolio is not important, though I use portfolio for mine. It is not really important in this step. The reason why I put portfolio is because it makes it easier in case I want to get any information about my Instagram or whatever things I use. But for Instagram, it is not important when it comes to posting automatically. It is not important. Like say, automating your posting on Instagram, portfolio is not important. But if you want to create a portfolio, I would say you should go to business.facebook.com, and then this is how it looks like. This is how a business portfolio are created. If you want to create a business portfolio, you just go to business.facebook.com, and then you log into your Facebook account, and then it brings you something like this. And all you just have to do is create a business portfolio. And let's say you create a business portfolio, all you just have is fill this, fill this, fill this, all this information, and you've created it already, and that's it. So as you can see, I'm already linked to my Instagram account. So once you create it, by then it will already shown here because I linked mine already from that Facebook page. It will have showed here already. That means, as you can see, this is it here. So this is how to create a Facebook portfolio. So let's go back to this one. So as you can, all I also need to do is click on, let's say, one of these that I've created before, and then I click on create app, and that is it. So that is all for that. So the next thing we'll need to do, once you finish filling that form, it will bring you here. This is exactly how it will look like once you come here. Um, the first thing you need to do, the first thing that's really, really important for you to do is to log in. So you come here because you've already created it here. It will bring you here. This is where you come, and then you see something like this already. Like you see something like this. This is how it will look like once you click on API setup Instagram login. This is exactly what it will bring you. The next thing you have to do is to connect your. It will come like this is already connected your account already. You add account. Sorry, once you add the account, like you create an account, and then it will tell you that you should create a tester role. Let me show you how to go about that. Like before you can add an account here, you first need to add a role to it. So you go to app roles, you click on roles. I've already linked my already, but I'll show you an example of how it is. So once you choose add people, and then you click on Instagram tester, and then you now search for the Instagram account that you want to add. It's very important for you. Make sure that it's the same Instagram account that you want to add. I've added my node, but let's say I want to add a second account. This is where I'll just go to yeah, as you can see, then you choose the account that you want. This is the account I want to choose, and then you add. Now you need to verify it on your Instagram account. That means you need to accept it. And for you to accept it, all you just need to do is you see this link where they say app and website. Then all you just need to do is click on it, and it will tell you where you need to do it. So let me show you an example of this one I've created before that have already been accepted. This is where you go to. Once it shows it, I'll still delete this one because I did not link it, so it will not work. But for this one, once I click on app and website, let me show you where to take us to. So yeah, as you can see, it will bring you to this tester invite, and then you see approve or remove. once you put it there, as you can, I've already approved mine already. That is showing only remove. So for you, you see approve or remove. So let's click on approve to approve the whole thing. By the time that one is done, once you approved it, and you come back here, and you come back to your API setup with Instagram login, you would see that um, it is a pop-up here already. You would see it here like this. You will see it here. Now, the next thing we need to do is to get this API token. But one thing I noticed that if you click on generate token here, it would not work in here anytime. I've watched the video on it, it did not work, and I tried it myself, it did not work. So the best way for you to do it is to get it from the bug itself, which is Graph API Explorer. So you go under to you go to Graph API Explorer. I'm just going to show you an example of how to get your access token. I've already got mine already, so I'll just show you an example. So you click on first of all, if you have more than one apps um, on your developers, you need to select which one you want to generate the token for. So as you can see, I have those two. If you remember the beginning, let me show you. As you can see, I have this DVD and I have this one. This is the one for the Instagram that we're making now. So this is it here. So if I want to change it, all I have to do is change it, and the asset token will change here. So this is the one I want right now. So and then I will click on different permissions. So all I know is honestly in this thing here, the most important things you have to do is just look for page show list, Instagram basic. I'm just looking for the most. Honestly, all I know is I think almost everything. Because I didn't want to start selecting. Instagram content publish, Instagram manage messages, pages read engagement. For all I know, just choose anything that was almost under Instagram, and then the one that I know that has to do with pages was this pages show list, and then there's two more, that is pages reach engagements and pages manage posts. I know that was one of the most important ones there when it comes to pages. Then the rest I just chose anything. I just search for Instagram. Like let me show you here, Instagram, and then I just started choosing. And once that is done, you generate your access token. And once this access token only lasts for 1 hour. So if you now want to make this access token last more than that, that means you want it to last way more than that, you go to access token debugger. I want it to last for 3 months. So I click on the access token here. Let's assume it is this. Let's assume it is this. Yeah. Anyways, it's because this one is not really that already expired. That was 1 hour on. So if I wanted to do that, as you can see, it expired. The expire will be on Tuesday. Or if I wanted it to last for 3 months, after imputing that, I'll come all the way. Let me just use an actual one then to make it easier to explain. I want to show you where you can get it. So let's say I put generate token. Because I'm in my I switched to my Facebook page before. That was the reason why. So as you can see, once I'll copy the token, and then I come back to access token debugger, and I paste the token here, and I debug it. Okay, it's still the same one, which is in 3 months. So basically, you would have come here to extend. This is where you click on to extend. If normally, if you're doing it for the first time, and it will still be 1 month, then you extend it for that. You click on extend access token, and it will change from 1 hour to 3 months. As you can see, um, mine is 3 months. Let me show you where the pin is. Yeah, in 3 months, and then that is it. Then data access expires in 3 months. Oh, 1 hour. Data is actually 1 hour. So let me extend it so you can see. Yeah. I was looking at the other one. Expires in about 1 hour. Then let me extend it. Extend access token. Then you need to log in your So you'll see that this is the access token here that will last for 3 months. So you copy it. It's very important that you copy it. That's what you'll be using in your editor. So once that is done, um, let me go back to show you like it's a change from 3 months to okay, now this one is in 2 months, which is 2 months. Before the first time I did it was for 3 months. So now it's now 2 months. So instead of 1 hour, it will expire in 2 months. So yeah, basically that's how you extend it. So if before the 2 month expires, you can come back to change it, and that is it. So that is the only thing you need for your for getting your access token. So the next thing you now do is go back to your NSN, and before that, you need to create a database which we use Airtable for that. So this is how my database looks like. We have this scheduled date and time. Basically, the way it works is it should post every day around 9 a.m. every day, and then we have the scheduled date and time. We have the caption I want to use. We have the media URL. We use Cloudinary folder, and this is it. Let me log in so I can show you how it works. So you can your database can be in any format. You can try to add more things to it. Or that by the I just made my database that simple as well. So you just schedule it content caption. Media URL. The media URL is what I saved on this Cloudinary. And then after that, let me filter it so it will be much more easy for that. So I filtered it on my upload. So the only thing that will be here are things that I uploaded. And we have the content type. We have three content type. We have let me show you. We have post, we have story, we have reels, and we have carousel. Those are the three four things we'll be talking about here. We'll be showing, for example, one for post, one for reel, one for story, one for carousel. We'll be choosing the four of them today. And then we have the status. We really have posted and pending for the status. So when we first created it, the default was pending. So anytime you create a new record, it shows pending. Then after we finish posting on Instagram, it changed to posted. And we have the media Instagram media ID. That means the ID that's been generated after being posted on it. So that is the only simple thing I needed here. You can add more to it. You can create posted time. You can let's say you want to get more information. Let's say the container ID. You can do all that for it. So yeah, that is all for that. So how do you create Cloudinary? You just click on um, you just come to search for Cloudinary on Google. That means as you can see, and then you just sign up. You just like you saw the way I signed up. That was just logging with my email address, and then create under assets. The way I did mine then was I created a folder for the images, but it doesn't really matter. You can create just you can just go to assets, and then you filter your asset by my upload, because if you don't do that, you also see all that things unless you want to start deleting them one by one by finding stressful. So I just filtered it so only things that I upload them myself. And how do you upload things? How do you add things on your so now let me show you an example. So if I go to my pictures and I pick let's say this and I drag it and I drop it here and then I refresh. Yep, and that's what as you can see. So that's the way you can do a drag and drop, or you can choose to upload it manually by either to your my file that's on my laptop, to your web address, image search, Google Drive, whichever one you want to pick from it. So that's an example of how to just drop and drag and drag and drop your information on that part. So that is all for the storage for your and how do you get a URL? I just need to just click on this share and copy URL and then original. So once you click on it, you get your URL and that is it. So basically it's as simple as that. And then we have this and that is all. Well, I've explained this already, so that is all for that. So I'll be showing a live example of how the thing works. So now let's go back to our NHN. let's go back to anytime another extent. So this is how the whole workflow looks like. I know it might be looking like um, maybe a little bit dragging and all that. So yeah, let me explain the whole thing. So we have a trigger like I said before. The trigger starts by 9 o'clock every morning. That's 9 o'clock. That's when I wanted to post on it. So I put a trigger on that, schedule trigger. You just search for it in your node here. This is it here. Schedule trigger, this is it. And then once that is done, you set the time you want. If you want to do multiple time, you add another rule. And you put it, let's say you want it to work at 9 a.m. and 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. or 3 p.m. twice in a day, then you can add another trigger into that. But for this, I'm only using one. And then we have our search record, that's the table search record. These are search record because I want you to pick at, that means today's date should tally with the date of that I want to. Let me explain what I mean by that. So we have how, first of all, you need to create your credentials. And then how do you create your credential? It's very simple. You just go to your Airtable. Let me show you. And you go to build that up, and then you go to access token. Once it's loaded now, I'll show you how to do that. Then you go to personal access tokens, and then you create a token. You name it your name, you add your scope. The scope should be data read, data write, data record comment read, the same thing, and then base schema read, base schema write, and that is all for that. So once that is done, you create your access token and copy your access token. It's very important because you need that access token to work. So yeah, that is all for that. Then you come back to our this thing here. So the only thing you come to here, you paste the access token here, and that is it. And then operation is search because you are trying to make sure that the filter matches what we want. So the operation is search. You have different operations. You have create. I'm not creating anything. We're not updating anything. We're not doing anything. We're not getting anything. We just want to search to extract everything that is there. So from your base here, I have two base here, but the one that my table is on, that is on that base. And then the table is Instagram content. We have so many tables, but this is the table that I want. As you can see for is we have so many tables, but the one is under Instagram content here. That is for as of that. And then the filter by formula. Now we have two conditions for that. We have when the status is pending. I want you to retrieve a document when the status is pending and the scheduled date and time. As you can see, the status is pending, and I want it when the status is pending. As you can see, every status here is posted. That means even if I try to refresh it, nothing will come up. And then the scheduled date and time, this scheduled date time should match today's date. So that means it should only pull date of today and when the status is pending. So that is the meaning of this filter. That's what I mean by this filter here. That is only when issue return. And then after that, I would, like I said, I'll show you like example. After that, we have switch node. You know, we are making for posts, for reels, for storage. So we need to make sure that each of them goes to their diverter because each of them have their different workflows. They are not the same workflow. So I need to make sure that everybody, each mode has its own workflow. So post will go to the workflow, story its own due to different parameters. So that's important. So we use the switch node, and all we just need to do is that the content type. By the time I refresh a table, the content type. So let me do a live one so you guys can see. Since we are making use of post for the meantime, let's do a new one. Today is the 19th. So as you can see, automatically it became pending. And then we have the caption. Let's say what the caption is. Today will be a great day. And then this is just the caption. And let me use hashtag Friday. Okay, cool. That is it. And then we have our image URL. So what should our image URL be? Let's use, which one should I, since we're talking about image for the first time, let's use this. Just, so once that is copied, let's go back to our, we'll paste it here. And then we're talking about post. The one we want to fill is post. So I'll be changing everything I do. I'll change it for both reels and all view or images. So like I said, we're starting with images first. So what if it was a video that we want to post? We need to make sure that okay, it takes a different route too. So how do we do that? Because the container for image, when you're setting it up, your Graph API is different from the one for images, so they can't follow the same direction. That's why we need to split it out. So all I did was media URL. As you can see, this media URL, I drag it here. I said contain JPG. As you can see, it ends with JPG. A video will not contain JPG. So you can, if you call your images in PNG, fine. You can change the contents PNG. Objective, because I'm using Cloudinary, I noticed that almost all, when getting the link, almost everything is in PNG. Is in JPG. That's usually what I use my language. So if you're using another different hosting platform and they give it out as an PNG, then yep, that will be the best for that. So now it's supposed to go to the image part, which is true, as you can see. And then now this is one of the most important things that we have to do when setting it up. Remember the access token that we created before. All you need to do is put in the access token and voila, that is all. And you're good to go. That access token that we created, then yeah, you are good to go. And the default to the OCR will be default. The request will always be post because you're posting something on the Facebook server. And then we have our Graph API version, that's the latest version you're supposed to choose, and 3.0, that's the latest version. And then your node, how do you get this node? Let me show you. We'll go back to our Instagram, this our app that we created here. Then you see this ID here, that is where we get our node from. All you just need to do is after you come back to your app and all that, you go to your API setup with Instagram login, and then you click on this, and then like you copy to clipboard, and then you come and add it. Yeah, it's very important for you to add it here. And if you want to make it easier for you to drag and drop, you can just create an edit node, put in ID, that means ID, and then you just drag and drop your ID here. So you can use it for other flows. But because I know that this is always permanent, I just made it fix system expression and just put it there like that. So each time I'm creating a new node, this node will always be permanent there. So that's why I did mine like that. So you can use an edit node and make an expression and drag it and drop there. It's still the same thing. And then the edge in the media, and that is all for the setup. So now you need to add your parameters. And for you to add parameter, all you just need to do is, first of all, there will be nothing there. So you put add option, then add parameters, and that is it. And then since we're using image for the meantime, so you have your image URL, everything should be in lowercase letter, everything. Then after that is completed, then you just drag and drop your media URL. Drag and drop. Don't forget image URL. If it's for video, it will be video URL. And since we're making posts, there's not going to be media type. I'll explain everything in detail soon. So we have our caption. This is our caption. Today will be a good day, which you just drag and drop. Like I just drag. So for post, when you're making a post for your feed, you're only making it just one post for your feed alone. You don't need any media damage. You don't need to indicate that, oh, I want to post this for real, I want to put this for story, I want to make this a carousel. No, just like that. And then you execute your step for that. So you wait for it to get your container ID. That is the reason why we are doing this, to get your container ID. So as you can see, this is our container ID. So once that is done, you put a wait node. The reason why we added the wait node is because sometimes it takes time for your container ID to become like if you're posting a video or anything like that, sometimes it takes time before it might show complete. So for us to do that, we just added a wait node. And honestly, the wait node is not really that important for this first phase. Not only when you're posting to your story that it takes time, but just in case, just more like, okay, let's wait for some few times so we don't rush everything together. That's the reason why I added a wait node for that. And then after the wait node, we have the edit field. Let me show you the purpose of the edit field. And this I added the edit field because of the container that was being generated, container ID, and then I just dragged it from here. Okay, let me I need to show the wait node. I put 30 seconds for it, but because of this, let's make it 5 seconds. Let's just leave it at 30 seconds. Um I'll cut out that part, so we'll just speed along the whole time. So yeah, everything is done now, and then let me show you how the edit feed looks like. So as you can see, the container ID, I just dragged it up here, this one here. That's the container ID, underscore container ID, and that was it. So it's easier for me to just reference it in the other one. And then the next thing we have to do is the HTTP request, and let me explain the reason why we're using it. We want to check if the status is successful. One, the status is um after posting it on container the container ID, we want to find out that okay, this thing has finished posting on as soon as posting it on the server there before it continues to the next person. So if it is not successful, it will create a loop that it will continue to go back till it's successful. So even though we added a wait time normally to show that okay, it might take some time before the thing gets successful, we will still continue that whole process till it shows successful. So let me explain. And how do we get that? So you use the HTTP method, you can use the HTTP request node, you use get as the method, and then you put HTTP.graph. Then this JSON container ID is the container ID we got from here, which is we got from here, and then the field is equal to status and all that. And then after that, we just put in access token. The way I was able to get it was Claude. I said Claude should give me the URL on how to get to this. So he gave me the graph that is .com slash 21.0 and then slash the container ID question mark field is equal to status then underscore. I don't think I need to read all this. And once after the access token is equal to so access token is the same one we used that we collected that we generated from the graph API and then included it there. As you can see, status code is finished. So that was the only thing we needed from there, and the ID this is the same ID from it. So that is all. So if the thing says finish, so if the thing says finish, you continue your process. But if it is not still finished, you need to create a wait mode and continue again till it's still finished. So basically that does the loop. Alright, and then the next thing we'll do is post it on our Instagram account. And how do we post that? Since we already have the content ID, the many ones are simple. We use the same thing, so the only thing that is changed here is this media. So instead of just media as this edge here, instead of just media, write media underscore publish, and that is it. And then for the parameter, we choose creation ID, and then we drag and drop the container ID, that is the ID that we got before. So let me run the node. So media publish, and the container ID is the same one we just finished, which is you can use this one here. You know we did so many steps, so you can use this one here. You just drag and drop it here, and that is it. So yeah, and then we run it. So once the thing finishes, that's posted, then we'll check our okay. Let's check our Instagram account. So let me refresh. Let me refresh it so I can show you that one that actually posted on it. So as you can see, this is it here. One we just finished creating now. This is it here. It wasn't here before, and now it is there, which is for normal posts. Then after that, we want to now update it on Airtable. Or let me show you that we have let me show you. As you can see, today will be great slash Friday. Just to show you that okay, this is exactly what we created for that. I'm back to this we have to just update our Airtable, and that is all. So like I said, we just need to update it from penny to posted and all that. So let me show you. As you can see, it will change now. Yep, and that's done that. So that is it. All for posting. So let me show you the different. Now I'm going to speed up the process since you guys already understand how the whole thing works. So you just need to change to make it, and that's what I'll be specifying for that. So if I come back here, so we have the next one I want to do is the video. Let's assume it's the video URL. The reason that is changing there, it's the video URL and then your link to your video. And how do you get the video URL? You upload it on Cloudinary, you get your video link and then you put it there and the caption and then um and you drag and drop your caption. And another thing that's very important is you can't post a video on your feed like that. It's very, very important for you to know this. You can't post on your feed like that. So the media type has to be reels. But you can do both at the same time in the sense that you can post on both your feed and reels at the same time. I was trying to work there and it's like it is not possible for you to just post on it. Or if anybody has a way to go about that, the person can let me know about that. But when I was doing the whole trial and error of the whole thing, it did not work, which is the truth. So your media type has to be reels if you want to post videos on your feed. But the only way it works is that you cannot post on both your feed and your reels. So how do we do that? Your media type will be reels. Like I said, we're not changing anything apart from adding new parameters, which is your media type. Everything like I said before should be lowercase. Media type and reels should be underscore. And then we have share to feed should be true. If you want it to only share to reels alone, and you want your video to only share to reels alone, it should be false. But if you want it to share to your feed and reels at the same time, then it should be true. That is all for that. And then you continue the whole process the way it has always been, just like we did the previous one. And that is done. And then for let's now look for story. Now let me show you for story. So let's check. I'll change it again from story, then pending. Then let's do this. Okay, so back to this. So as you can see, we already have for story. So let me show you how stories. So let's go. So the main important thing, which is this one here. Let's show you how it looks like. So the only thing that's changing is the same thing, is media type. Since we're not doing feed again, we're doing media type. That is very, 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 very important for that. So once that is done, the next thing you need to do is add media type as story. And once you completed that part, you are good to go. So we have the image URL, drag and drop your media URL, just like we did it before in the feed and the post part. And once that is done, you have media type as stories, and then you run it along. So, and the next thing, it continues the whole process just like we did before. You confirmed, and then everything becomes, as you can see, I'm not changing anything from here. Nothing is being changed. The only thing that is changed here is this one here. So that is it. So let me run it again so you guys can see. Okay, it has changed again. I think when I ran the last time, it didn't change. So let me start from. Also, I delete this now. Start from the beginning. So yeah, instead of me starting from that angle, let me start from there. So as you can see now, it's in this image story. Went through the storyline. It's in the image story, and it's trying to get the container ID. Yeah, then wait for 30 seconds and all that. I think maybe the next one also should use the 8 seconds to 5. But I was thinking I should wait that long. So I'm sure you already get the idea of the whole thing of it. The same thing applies to story video. And let's click on it while that one is running. So as you can see for story and for video, we have the video URL, we have the caption and media type is stories. The same thing with that. um, and yep, it's about posting on our Instagram now, and then so let's check our Instagram account and our story. So as you can see, there's no story here. But I'm refresh it and the story should pop up. Yep, as you can see, now we have stories here. So let's look on it, and that is it. So um, that is all settled for that. Um, so the whole thing for the center story, I'll send you have is Reels. The only thing that changes for Reels is the media type. Instead of stories now you have Reels, and for the video, don't forget, since you are posting in just Reels alone, it will become false. I mean, share to feed false instead of true. Remember when we were doing the video for posting, we said it as true. Now you really want to post it as Reels, which will become false. But I say it's the same thing. There's no changes at all. Now the only one that I found a little bit a little bit tough before was the carousel. Let me show you how carousel work. So we have, let me create one. So that one is done. Let me create for carousel. So yeah, I guess we all pay for better. So we have let me see, motivation. No worry, I'll still leave this. So we have motivation, and then let's now get our carousel. I only noticed that there were quite a lot of limitation when it did with posting carousel. I'll explain, like I said, I'll explain what the limitation I noticed when building this. And then, so let's go to, yeah. So I've taken two images. I'll take this. Or let me take this, and then I post it here. But since we are doing carousel is like one or two images. So for now, I only set it as two images. But like I said, there were quite a lot of limitations when creating carousel images. And then the next one will be second image. Let me choose this one here to be the second image. Then, so let me paste the second image. And this time we're choosing carousel. So now let me explain the way carousel works. It was quite a tough one creating it. So we have you think comes there, search is kind of like, oh, okay, switch node. That process should be quite understandable. Then switch node brings it back to carousel. And then you have the image splitting. Now the reason why I do that, when things come from Airtable, it comes as two images. I'll show you an example of how it works. So let me just do a test run for that. So we have image splitting, and I wanted it to split the two images into two different entities. And I mean is that it wants to be two different items here, not one, because it's coming as one item. So I needed to split it as, so as I said, image splitting. And then I use the image, which is the image, then array, and then I use this on the side. That's what we take control. I need to split an array. An item into two, and it gave me the layer. I'll explain that one later. So let me go back to this. So let's start with our trigger node, and then so let me confirm that it's the one which is carousel. Yep, carousel, which are definitely sure. And let me show you how the image links look like. Then before we have one, now we're having two. As you can see, this is the first one, then we have comma, then the second one. And then we now switch node. As you can see, it went towards the carousel part. And then how did I get here? Image, I just dragged this media URL. I named it as image and this media URL here. And I said, okay, you know what, split it for me. and that was what it did for me. As you can see now, it has turned into two different items for me. This is the image 0 and image 1, two different items for me, and that was what I wanted. So if you're having like you want to create like say 2 or 3 different items, you can just split it into different items. But the only issue, like I said before, I'll explain in the after video. You first of all create a container ID for the first one, and for the first image, then now create a second one for the second image. So that means you now have 2 container IDs if you are doing for 2 carousels, that means 2 images. If you are doing for 3 images, you have to create 3 container IDs. That means you have 3 container IDs. And then how does it work? You do the same process the way we've been doing it. You want to post an image, your edit the media, or not publishing, so it's media, new URL, caption, and this is the caption. All you have to do is drag this one here, yeah, and then the caption is where do you get your caption from the search record, and the caption, you drag your caption here. So this is for the first image. Then you do the same thing for the second image. I'm waiting for you to look so you can go back to the, can move to the second one. So yeah, now you move to the second one. As you can see, this time I'm choosing the second image, which is this one. Drag and drop here and follow the same thing. Caption, nothing is changing. Caption is just the same way you did all the other ones. It's the same exact way. And then we execute that. Now we're having 2 container ID, one for the first image, one for second image. Now we need to make sure that we combine 2 of them together to only get one container image. So that's what we did here. And for that is what we did. So you do the same thing here, and then the only thing we're adding is a node called children. So we create a node called children. And how do you do that? You don't drag and drop the first and second with a comma that separates them. So you write an expression called children, and then in your container one, you drag it here, and you put comma, and then you drag your second container, and that is it. And then you put your caption, and then your media type. Don't forget, it will not your media type has to be carousel. I don't know if they're using children. Children is more like I think one thing that Meta used to identify that okay, this is a carousel. Since it's having 2 or more container ID, so that's really best for them to identify that this is a carousel. And then just when you do this, you only get one container ID, and that container ID that we use to follow the whole process. And next step, so we choose execute step, and then the remaining ones is the same process. Now you only get one container ID. As you can see, just one. The 2 container ID has been combined together or mixed together to get one container ID, and that is it for it. So yeah, for that, and then we do the whole normal process. So let me just change it to 5 seconds so we don't waste so much time here. So 5 seconds. You can understand there. Okay, I was about one that is not like it's not too long for 5 seconds already. And then we have our edit field, the same thing. So let me just come here. Yes. Okay, so nothing is changing from this angle here. Everything is the same thing, no change. And that is it. So yep, and that has been posted. So let's check our Instagram again. Now we're talking about carousel, so let's refresh it. Yep, as you can see, and let me show you. This is the first image. This is the second image, as you can see. And then we have I pray for better days, and this is the hashtag for it. So basically that is how to post. I know I should have done for video, but honestly, when you follow the same person, like I said, the video would post for real. It's something I've tested already, so you just need to just follow the same person, like I said, and that's it. So basically, this is how the workflow for posting on Instagram and everything is. I know it might look a little bit crazy, especially others. So now let me explain some of the limitations I expected and that I experienced, especially when it has to do with carousel and some of the other things. Okay, let me explain some of the disadvantages that I noticed when making this automation for Instagram. I'm sure in the video I must have mentioned that you can't actually add audio to this post, and so that means when you make a post, there is no audio unless the audio is inbuilt in it. For a minute, if you are combining different images together as the video, it has to have an audio in it already, or a video that already has an audio. That is the only way it works. So if the video already has an audio, when you post it, it will definitely create the initial sound that was in it before. So you can't actually add audio to your posting. And the alternative for that would be to go to your Instagram post. After making the post, you go there and then add music to or audio to that post, which basically fulfill the whole point of the automation. And then the second one is for the carousel. I noticed that for you to create two images, mix images and audio, and images and pictures, mix three pictures together, or two videos and one picture to create a carousel, you need to make sure that it creates each container for everything. So you can't have I've not when I thought about the whole thing, for me to do that, I wanted to create multiple flows for that. I want to create a flow for two images, create another flow for two images with one video. So all those kind of things limits the whole thing. You can't combine it unless you have a specific flow for the whole thing. That was part of the thing that I noticed from it. But aside that, I get the many things that are good. You can scale it. So if you are posting without music, if you don't post carousel, let's say you only post daily basis for images without audio, or you just post, you have a specific carousel where you post let's say two images without audio, or two images and one video, it can be built that it only follow that same template. But you once you're having like a diversity where you're trying to have two images, one video, or three images, and the whole thing changes, that means you need to create a new workflow for that. So those are some of the limitation that I got to know, but I know the major factor would be the audio part, which I know is very, very important when you have to do the posting. So unless your person doesn't have to do with audio, and I guess definitely you're going to go to use this automation. And then yeah, thank you very much for listening.